Hello and welcome to HEB Art. Tonight we're going to be painting a very cool set of two abstract paintings with some of my most favorite colors. Let's get started. I have two 10-inch square wrapped canvases that I'm going to put painter's tape on so I can keep the back of the frame clean. I use a Sharpie to write down today's date on the blue tape. I do this so that I don't varnish or seal the paintings too soon. You want the paintings to dry on the surface as well as through all of the layers. Next, I'm using jumbo push pins that I screw into the frames to get the canvases up off of the table. That way I can be sure the paint is covering the sides of the canvas. Just like that. I'm using interior house paint that I bought at Lowe's. This is satin or semi-gloss, and I use it as my base paint. I mix it with American Floetrol that I also bought at Lowe's and with water. The ratio is about 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol with water added for consistency. And now for my colors. My first color is a Lowe's sample. This is tube paint that I bought at Michael's. I'm using a dark blue and a brown. I absolutely love this turquoise. It's from Walmart. And this is the gold metallic paint that I'm using. I'm showing you the interior so you can see how thick the paint is. And I'm recommending, if you're a complete beginner, to stay away from metallics. They're just much more difficult to mix and make just right. I use a Revlon blow dryer with a diffuser. You can see there's a couple of speeds and temperature. I use it on the cool low setting. And I have a culinary torch that I got from Amazon for about $15. I'll begin by spreading my mixed up interior wall paint. I'm showing you the consistency there. It's a little thicker than I would use for a Dutch pour, but I want my paint to be a little thicker so the colors will sit nicely on top. I'm using my blow dryer to spread the paint. I want to cover the entire canvas as well as the sides. Once I have the paint fairly well spread, I'll use the torch to pop any air bubbles that might exist in the base paint. At this point, I don't feel like the paint is adequately spread, so I'm using this little spreader tool that I bought in the candy making department of my local dollar store, and I'm just spreading the paint evenly. It's okay if there's little divots. The paint actually levels itself on the canvases. Next, I put a vinyl glove on my hand so that I can touch up the canvas, making sure all of the sides are covered in paint. And also I'm popping bigger air bubbles I might see. I'm just taking my finger and dabbing the paint. It's always good to have a paper towel nearby that you can wipe your hands on. And we're starting with the colors. First with the dark brown. I'm using the skinny side of a popsicle stick, and I'm just doing lines in the base paint. I wipe off the popsicle stick, And I'm adding a little bit more color. I'm twisting the popsicle stick so the line is not perfect. There's parts of it that'll be wider than the other. And now I'm using the blue. I have a tongue depressor for this color. And you'll see later in the video, I turn it on its side to get sort of a swipe design in the painting. I'm using the torch now, hoping to get maybe a couple of cells, but that wasn't the goal of this painting. The torch also brings up the dark brown. For some reason, the dark brown rises to the heat. I'm adding some more of the turquoise, and I'm thinking the turquoise was a little thick. So now I'm putting dark brown inside the turquoise stripe. And I really like the way this is coming out. I apologize for the background whistling noise. That is my furnace. I thoroughly love this dark, bright blue. There gets to a point when you're painting that you need to stop. And I'm starting to think that maybe I'm adding too much here, because I want to show the negative white space as well. That's part of the painting. Even though there's no color on it, it's part of the composition. So I'm adding some colors still. The torch again to see if I can pull up some of the darker colors, like the dark brown and the blue. The torch, for some reason, makes those colors rise. I'm really thrilled with the final product. Here the colors are shown swirled together. There's a couple of cells there in the dark blue. I'm super excited with how these came out. The paintings will stay on the table overnight and then move to the drying rack for 3 weeks before varnishing. If you enjoyed my video, please press like and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.